Hey, welcome in Huntsville. Another wonderful good morning to you. Thanks for waking up with us. What do you love about Huntsville? What makes this a great place to be?
Everyone here is very genuine and very kind and friendly. You never hesitate to speak up and say hello or good morning or just acknowledge the person walking by.
The thing that I love most about Huntsville, I love the peace that Huntsville brings. I love the peace that it gives me.
I feel accepted and part of the town and like I belong here.
Huntsville is where my lovely wife lived when I met her, so I moved here. So I'm pretty thankful for her.
All right.
We're bucking for you in Huntsville, Texas.
Hello, I'm Billy Coppin, the Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home.
Hey, it's Kay Boning with Tomorrow's Provost Montessori Schools.
Good morning, Huntsville.
Good morning.
Hey, I'm Karen.
I'm Toy. And I'm Denise.
And from all of us at Walker County Federal Credit Union, good morning, Huntsville.
Jason, you want to do that really annoying sound check? Hey, yeah.
Is that how you do it?
No, that's not how I do it, man. But I'll tell you, when I go to guys are setting up for concerts, and I'm gonna upset somebody this morning, but I don't know what they go. Yeah, hey, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what are they doing, karate or what are they doing, man?
Yeah.
Or check 1, 2, 3.
Check one.
I wonder where all that started. That would be a good segment for news you definitely can't use.
Yeah.
News you can't use. So. Welcome in as we get rolling here on a very, very thankful Thursday. Jason and I were kind of matching. We decided to go black today. So
Yeah.
Black helps me because it makes me look like I haven't eaten as many hamburgers.
Yeah, you look like you've lost weight.
I haven't.
You haven't?
No, I've stayed the same.
Every week we
245.
come on here and start talking about your weight. You're going to get self-conscious about it. If you're not already.
Bridget's been doing a really great job. Like, she's on a really good diet right now, and she's doing just phenomenal. And I need to join her on it. She's doing really awesome. She's very strict about what she's eating. So we were already talking about what we were going to be eating today. See, I'm always thinking about food. So as soon as I got here to the church, I sent her a WhatsApp message. I said, "Hey, it's Burger Blitz tonight at the clubhouse over at Elkins. It's like you buy, and the food over there is not.
Yeah.
I mean, we can feed the whole family for $30. It's not bad.
Yeah.
And so I said, hey, it's Burger Blitz tonight. Do you want the burger without the bun? And she said, yeah, I get that. And I said, what side do you want? Well, normally we'd get like the jalapeno bun and the fried okra and the ranch. And tonight, no bun, just the meat, and then we're going to get veggies on the side.
Wow, that's good.
So I've made up my mind. But probably today I'll go to Burger King for lunch.
I think or McDonald's, the economy with the everything, all the prices, everything going up. I think more and more people are eating cheap food, and that's probably the worst thing you can do. The cheap food at like McDonald's, or you find yourself drawn to the value menus, double cheeseburger and all this other stuff.
Well, McDonald's needs to settle down because their app is just on fire.
I know it, man. I'm telling you, you can get all kind of free stuff. How many thousands of points do you have?
Look up there at the top right.
10,457.
10,004. That's too much. But you can't ever use them all.
No, because they only let you use one per time.
They should, man, if they let me use it all, it'd be awesome. But, yeah, every time you buy something there, you get points, and it's enough to get something else.
Yeah, Big Mac.
Yeah, exactly. And I think I'm up to like I don't know, I ordered something the other day, and then it never did go through. And I was like, what do you mean it's right here? And they said, well, we don't have that anymore. I said, well, then what the app have it for? I didn't get upset, you know.
Yeah.
I can tell that those poor folks, some of them just get yelled at all day long because they got, like, defensive immediately. Like, well, sir, we don't have it, and got nervous. I said, and I remember I just put my hand out the window. I said, hey. I said, it's all good. I said, I'm not going to get upset about this.
Yeah.
And as soon as I said that, this person, you could just tell, took a deep sigh of relief. And I said, it's not a big deal. I said, thank you. I said, you're doing great.
It's sad that we were talking about this the other day in our chapel meeting that because of the lack of community in so many different areas, you know, because of technology and our social interactions with people is not as much as it was before. You know, you used to buy your groceries from the guy that you knew, the grocer, or you knew the person that you bought your drugs from, your prescriptions from. You knew the guy that you brought your shoes from, and it created a sense of community in every community to where you knew the people that you did business with. But now people are so used to buying things online, you know, have it your way type thing, you know, that there is so much aggression and so much. It's like, I want it. It's for me. You know, it's a self-centeredness that really has taken over in a lot of part of our culture. And I do feel sorry for these people that are in customer service areas. And I mean, we've mentioned it before about not only just fast food areas, but these telemarketers and stuff like that. And of course, they're rampant everywhere. But I can only imagine the type of people that they are dealing with on a regular basis.
Well, I hate to say it, but it all started with old J.G. Wentworth. It's that guy started it. It's my money and I need it now.
Yeah,
you know, that guy.
Exactly.
That's like the commercial you remember, 877 cash now, and they're all like, it's my money and I need it now.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, J.G.
Yeah.
Jerk.
I think that commercial came on every episode of Jerry Springer, so you probably watched a lot of Jerry Springer back in the day.
In the JG, from the JG Gentworth, the initials JG, it stands for Jerk George. That's his name. It's the Jerk George.
Really?
No, I'm just kidding. George, if you're watching, that's not even your name. So. Hey, welcome in again, getting rolling here on a very wonderful and thankful Thursday, episode 507. Big thank you, as always, to Elliot's Jewelers and Elliot Herzlich. He's online at elliotsjewelers.com for all of your jewelry needs. Give my good friend Elliot Herzlich a call. Jason, did I ever show you my wedding band I got from him?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Check this out. I wanted something a little masculine,
yeah.
And I wanted one of those like with those Big Daddy studs, but I don't have the Big Daddy wallet. So
I hear you. Look at mine.
Yeah, and Bridget goes, you're not going to get anything like that. She goes, there's no way. But Elliot hooked me up.
That's awesome. I love it.
It was like a hammered. It's like a hammered gold, and then a white gold, and then regular gold. But you would think that like little diamonds are expensive, right? Not really. They're not that bad, and so.
Cool.
I wanted one on there to represent Bridget and I. And then when we had our two children, I told Elliot, I said, hey, I'd like to add two more for the kids. And so he said, I can do that. And it wasn't hardly anything. I mean, he took great care of me. And I love this band. He did such a great job on it. And see, Bridget said, we need to fill that thing up.
Yeah, exactly.
And I was sitting there thinking, well, if it was Jason's, well, you'd have to have about four of them. You know?
No, keep going, brother. Keep going.
So now the 41, the Lord's got me where I need to be right now. So.
No, you're 41. Your wife's not 41.
Don't, Bridget. It's time to go to work, sweetheart. Don't be watching this show this morning. Hey, by the way, we've made it all the way to Las Vegas today. The show is in Las Vegas. And that's Steph Valley. She's at a conference. I don't think she's ever been to Vegas before. She's at a conference from Magnolia Kennel, and she said, good morning from Las Vegas.
All right. So speaking of dogs this morning, we got one on the show.
Yeah, we do. I'm excited. Jasper's in the house today.
Yeah.
Did I get that right, Jasper? Yeah, Jasper's here. We're going to have him in just a little bit, so we're excited about it. A big thank you, as always, of course, to First Baptist here on this very thankful Thursday. Jason, a great Wednesday night life last night. The bus was full. It was a packed house. You know, we're 1 week away from kind of wrapping up this semester. Just wanted to to kind of get your thoughts on last night. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was good to see so many people here and just studying the Word of God together. And you took it up. You took it to the next level.
No.
Yeah, Rob's taking over from me. We're splitting duties for teaching our children. I teach 6 weeks, and he teaches 6 weeks. So we did a swap about a few weeks ago. And last week, Rob was telling me that the kids were asking, "Where's Jason at? Where's Jason at?"
Yeah, they were like, "Oh," and they were all mad.
And he took offense to it. So this week he had to step it up. And I mean, I heard you had spots all. You were playing the leper in the
I was
story.
Naaman, man. I had leprosy yesterday. My skin was falling off.
And I heard all sorts of reviews about it, and it was nothing but positive.
Okay, good.
So you knocked it out of the park yesterday. I think people are going to be talking about that for some time. I hope they took some pictures.
Well, I have to do the object lessons because you're so good at teaching, and I'm not. I'm good at like visual things. I can't teach like you, brother.
No, you can't.
So
All I do is try to find things that keep them entertained for a little while.
Well, we compliment each other, so it's great, man. But yeah, it was fun. Last week I was a chef, and I was like, man, I need a chef hat, and I had an apron. So like the old school First Baptist Church.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
I think it was when the church was founded. In fact, I think Martha used to wear that. I think Martha Houston used to wear that. When she went here. So I put on that apron last week, and I was like, I really need a chef's hat. And I had this quick idea of getting some of that white paper towel.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Linda helped me. We wrapped it around, and I stuck it on my head. Well, then I walked out, and Rodney goes, "Well, man, that just looks like a tube. You need the top on it." And so Linda, very quick thinking, she wadded up a bunch of paper towels, stuck on the top, and it looked like a chef's hat.
There you go.
So, but it was fun.
Taking it to the next level. I love it.
We're trying, man. So, but it was so great last night. The adults, I know, are having a great time. The youth, and that's what I wanted to let people know. There's a lot of folks that think it's still just for young people, but it's not. It's for entire families.
Yeah. I know it's wrapping up. Next week will be our last week together, and then the 21st we're having the party at the park, which I'm really excited. That really kind of wraps up what we are doing. On Wednesday nights, we're going to be down here at our local park. What is that, Rather Park there?
Rather Park, yes, sir.
And
Dan's going to make an appearance.
6 to 7:30, we'll be out there, and we're going to have a live music. We're going to have some preaching. We're going to have blood donations. We're giving back to the community through the mobile blood center will be out here, and we're going to be giving blood for that. So it's going to be a great evening. Free food. We're going to be cooking out, and so it'll be a great time.
I like the way you had kind of talked about it because, the ladies here are so awesome. They always cook for us.
Yep.
And so now it's a time for us men to kind of return the favor that
Get
Wednesday
out there
night.
with your grill and cook up something.
And we wanted to remind people that everyone's invited, not just members of the church, but if you're out here and you watch this show, come join us. Mm-hmm. We'll come next Wednesday too, but the Wednesday after that.
I think it is.
Yes, sir. The 21st, we're going to be at Rather Park, 6 p.m. Mm-hmm. So come on down and celebrate with us. Party at the park.
Party at the park. BYOB. Bring your own Bible.
I like that. That's good, Jason. Hey, I did want to say something real quick. Happy belated birthday to Joshua Harris, by the way. I didn't get to tell him happy birthday on the show yesterday. Joshua's joining us. But speaking of party, boy, I was thinking, I've been talking about this for months since Jason's joined us. We're going to take a brief break, but before we do, I'd like for you to enjoy the sound. I worked with a record company on this. We've been putting it together for a couple of months now. It's good, wholesome music that we have just worked really hard on in honor of our friend, Jason Bay.
Oh, no.
Here it is. You ready, Jason?
Yes.
Worked with some of the biggest hip-hop producers.
I can tell.
Here it is.
A guiding light. The pastor standing bold in the night.
You feeling this? Jason?
Sounds like a boy band.
It is.
Harbor of hope where hearts renew.
Here it is.
Yeah. I love it. Yeah.
Feeling it, Jason?
I'm feeling it. I don't know.
I don't know if the Bay really flows. right, there you go,
Oh,
Jason.
man.
There you go.
That's too good.
Yeah,
Rob.
we needed more of a Snoop Dogg rendition of
Yeah,
that. you
right,
know,
right.
That one.
Get some street cred.
That one kind of sounded like you were singing to your girlfriend. Like, you know how they call their girlfriend Bay or whatever?
Yeah.
It's like, Bay, Bay, Bay.
That's when you put it in there, and that's how it interpreted it.
It's like, no, this is Jason Bay. All right, well, we're going to take a brief break. Thank everybody for joining us, especially folks like Deborah Perez, who's joining us, saying thankful for a thankful Thursday morning. Good to have you on this morning. Deborah, do us a favor and continue to hit like and share this broadcast so we can continue to promoting the best in Huntsville. Joshua Harris, by the way.
Wait, you just said the best in Huntsville.
The best, yeah, the best in Huntsville. Joshua Harris just said, "Bay, bay, bay, Jesus is the way." So he's already, Joshua Harris is flowing this morning, man.
I don't think Jason Bay and Jesus should be in the same sentence.
JJJ. So, well, we'll take a quick break. Stay with us. More to come as we continue promoting the good here in the community. This is your show. It's Good Morning Huntsville. Chrissy Cogdill joins us. We got a special guest also on the show, and maybe a furry guest.
Yes.
Here in just a few moments. Stay with us. We'll be back in a moment. It's your show. This is Good Morning Huntsville on a Thankful Thursday, brought to you by First Baptist. Don't go anywhere.
Hip Media and Community Outreach Minister here at First Baptist Church, Huntsville. Let me ask you, when's the last time you felt real hope? Maybe it's been a while since you've been to church, or maybe you've never felt connected to a church at all. Well, friends, that's okay. Here at First Baptist, we're a harbor of hope, and we welcome everyone just as they are. We have programs throughout the week for all ages to come together, ask questions, grow in faith, and find the hope that only Jesus Christ can bring. Whether you're looking for a fresh start or a community to call home, we'd love for you to join us. Come experience something real. For more information, visit fbchuntsville.org. First Baptist Church Huntsville, a harbor of hope.
This harbor of hope, we are safe inside.
Hi, I'm Billy Cawthon, manager of Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home. We know times of loss are tough, and you need a place to feel comfortable and cared for. At Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, we pride ourselves on being with you during those really tough days. You can rest assured that we will be on your side and by your side every step of the way. Thank you for your trust. Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, supporting families every day, every step.
Hey, I'm Denise Olivas, Business Account Specialist at Walker County Federal Credit Union, and our business is helping you take care of your business. In addition to personal accounts, Walker County Federal Credit Union also offers business accounts and business lending for commercial customers. We're devoted to taking care of the needs of our individual members and helping our business members with their financial success too. Call us today and find out how easy it is to work with Walker County Federal Credit Union. Member NCUA.
The Oak Ridge Disciple House is a faith-based 501c3 nonprofit Christian character building ministry helping men 18 and older who are suffering from drug and alcohol addictions. If you or someone you know needs help, there is light at the end of the tunnel, and that light can be found through the Oak Ridge Disciple House. For more information, visit oakridgedisciplehouse.com.
This is KHSP LP, Huntsville, Texas, the spirit of Huntsville.
This is Jason Bay, the pastor at First Baptist Church, Huntsville, and you're listening to Spirit Radio, the spirit of Huntsville.
Support for SpiritRadio.fm comes from loyal listeners just like you. Want to help spread the good news across Huntsville and beyond? Underwriting opportunities are available for loyal listeners, businesses, and nonprofits. Visit SpiritRadio.fm and tap Donate today.
Spirit of Huntsville, Spirit of Huntsville, Spirit 94.3.
Welcome back at it, friends, as we continue on this journey here this morning. Boy, some weather update for you. Normally I have this all fired up, ready to go. And I want to encourage you, don't trust your phone for the weather. Just go straight to the experts at the National Weather Service. It's always been my big pet peeve on that. The phones are always wrong. Weather Service, that's our old weather boys doing great work. 65 degrees fair today. Right now this morning, 93% humidity. It's going to be a nice mild day. 83 sunny. Tonight, 63 cloudy. How about tomorrow? Only 78 and partly cloudy. This weekend, just a slight chance of showers on Saturday, but it's going to be a wonderful weekend for you and your family to get out. Many events going on in town. We'll talk about a big one coming up here in just a few moments. But, hey, we want to welcome in, as always, our good friend here, Miss Chrissy Cogdell, joining us. Good to see you, Chrissy.
Thank you.
Welcome
Thank you
back.
for having me again.
And Matt Nichols making a first-time appearance on the show. So, yes, Matt, good. Oh, you know what, Matt? Man, this is when I call it like the third-rate production here. We're going to take it back to first rate. There we go. I got you now, brother.
Now you can hear me.
There we go. It's old Toby Keith. Turn it up some.
Turn it up some.
We got you, brother. So, Matt, welcome in. Good to have you today.
It's great to be here.
Awesome.
To be here.
And you've brought a wonderful pup with you this morning. We're going to learn about him here in just a few moments. But Chrissy, I'll start with you. How have you been? What have you been up to? Everything going good?
It is going good. I'm still coming off the jet lag, I think, from Africa, and they've sent a message and asked me to go back in September, so y'all be in prayer for me. I'm not quite sure about that right now, but yes, it's all going good. We're gearing up for the festival May 17th, and we've had a lot of great support for that. So we're very, very thankful.
Yeah, this is going to be taking place. You remember just a couple of weeks ago, we had y'all on talking about this event coming up. It's the name of it is
Hope Grows Here.
Hope Grows Here. That's right, over at the Williams Ranch.
It is.
And I was going to say Bridges for some reason, but it's Hope Grows Here. And it's such a wonderful, wonderful event that'll be a benefiting organization, including First Touch Family. I know you guys are involved with this, and it's such a wonderful event. And appreciate Sherry for coming and talking and getting this event up and rolling. And it's going to be fun. We got so much going on. This weekend, they're having a memorial ride for Clay Talsworth. It's the Main Street Music Series. DBA is having an event down in the square. So there's plenty to do the next few weekends here in Huntsville. I did want to mention real quick that if you pay for the $200 a month subscription behind the scenes, you'll get to hear me admit that if purple ever came my way, I would answer the call. Chrissy did not like this. I said, I cheated on the orange back in the day. I went to the green up north, and I said, I'd do it again in a heartbeat. And Chrissy's like, I'm about to walk off of this show. Yeah. So I had to apologize to her.
Bleeding orange over here for the Bearcats,
But then our friend Matt over here, we got the whole color today because Matt, I know, grew up in Nacogdoches area, and
yes, sir.
But you know what, good friends all over East Texas, and that's what I love about being here in this part of the country. It's just good, hard-working, down-to-earth people. Matt, I wanted to highlight you a little bit. I know you're here today, and we're going to talk about the event in a moment, but you're also here with 5 Cents Cattle Company. Talk a little bit about your business and kind of what you guys do.
Yes, sir. My brother and I, we have 5 Cents Cattle Company, and the play on words, my last name is Nichols, and so the 5 Cents is our brand. But more than that, I am a rancher. I am a full-time cowboy. I work for Texas A&M AgriLife Research, and I manage the Thomas Ranch in Richards, Texas. And so I am horseback probably 4 or 5 days out of the week, and I do train horses. My brother and I, we show horses as well. So the same horses that I take to the arena, I use on the ranch. Along with that comes Jasper. I use my dogs every day, and so he's not quite the entertainer. However, he knows when he's on video or on camera. He loves it.
There he is. Look at that boy right there. Oh man, it don't get any better than that, Chrissy. Look at that little guy.
It's sweet.
He is 5 years old this year, and kind of what made him special, and I'll share a little bit about what we do. But I raised him from a puppy, and I told my wife, I said, hey, if we're going to invest in a dog, he's going to be my buddy. And my kids have grown and gone, and so I lost all my help, and so I needed to replace my help. And so that's where Jasper came from. And so he and I have a pretty special relationship, and my kids accuse him of being my favorite kid, and but he's pretty special. We work every day, so he's not a trick dog, if you will, but he is a very, very good cattle dog, and and that's how our relationship started, and he works every day.
Boy, that's great. Well, he is. What kind of? I should know this. I recognize the breed, but what breed of dog is?
So he is a border collie.
Okay.
Full blood registered border collie. A lot of border collies are black and white. He is red and white, and I don't know. I like that. Just in this area, just with our heat and everything, I thought it'd be a good fit, and it's turned out to be a really good fit. I have other dogs at home that I train, and they're doing good, but he's still my favorite.
He's top. He's
top
see,
dog.
That's literally where the phrase came from.
He's a top
Chrissy,
dog.
right there. He's top dog. Top dog. Well, I know you guys are going to be out at the Hope Grows here Spring Festival coming up, the Spring Family Festival. Not this Saturday, but next Saturday. Are you going to be doing any? I know you said he's not really doing a whole lot of tricks, but there's some performance that he's going to do. So I think you're being humble with it. What's he going to be doing?
Yes, sir. So just me personally, I enjoy sharing with others kind of my talents and my animals' talents, and all for one purpose, and that's to encourage other people. And if they can relate to my animals, then that's what I want to do. And so we will have a set of cows there, and some of them have been handled, some of them have not. Chrissy, if you need to tell her to get it down, because he loves to get loved on.
Hey, this is good for those. You know, there's all these videos on the internet now that are what do they call it? Like, man, I can't think of the word. Like sensory videos or they call them satisfying videos, like someone squeezing a sponge and all this.
Oh, yeah.
The new ones are like real loud things, and so he just licked the microphone. So there you go. We're going viral now.
There you go. So we'll handle a set of cows, and what's kind of unique is, I mean, I don't compete doing this. There are competitions that people compete with their dogs and move cattle around or sheep or whatever. But I'm able to put a message to it.
I love that.
And so I can share the gospel. And with either the horse or the dogs, but I've really enjoyed sharing with Jasper and sharing kind of our faith and where we come from and where we're going.
Man, this is about the most loving little pup I've ever met, and I love dogs, man. Jason and I both. Jason's got a little sheepadoodle, and it's just a special dog to their family, and I've got my golden and our dog. And anytime somebody says they're going to bring a pup on this show, come on, brother. He's just special.
Well, and I think Matt is being very humble, and he is a very humble guy. He's also a deacon out at Anderson Baptist Church. And he had done some demonstrations for our youth. And I love how he uses Jasper to share that God has purpose for everyone. And so we just felt like, our foundation is founded on the hope of Jesus Christ. And we just felt like, as a family fun day, that Jasper and Matt would be a great addition to be able to continue that message in an environment that could encourage families that maybe don't go to church, maybe maybe they haven't been exposed really to the gospel. And so Matt does a really good job of sharing that message with the youth and with the kids, and the kids love it too. So we're very thankful for that.
If a kid can relate to Jasper or to a horse, and more than likely they're listening to what I'm saying, and especially if he's doing something fun, and he will work a cow like no other. And hey, that'll do, Jasper. That'll do. Down. He gets excited. I'm telling you. So especially if it's a lady, he loves to. My wife can walk up and he just runs and jumps into her arms, and she has to push him down. But he loves to get petted on.
Yeah. How old is he, Matt?
He's 5 years old.
5 years old.
Yes, sir.
Man, that's awesome. Well, we're so thankful, to have you today and to share Jasper with us and also just to share the good news and how the Lord is working. The Lord works through anybody and anything. Right. And I think it's so incredible, especially for this event coming up on May the 17th over at the Williams Ranch, the Hope Grows Here Spring Family Festival. It's going to be such a wonderful time to bring the family out. Should be a nice, beautiful weekend. We're praying for sunshine. We've had some good luck here over the past few weekends. And I did want to mention, are there any tables, any of those things still available, do you know, by any chance, Chrissy? I know there's some VIP tables that were for sale.
We do have a few VIP tables left for sale for dinner and the music that is afterwards. Anybody can join in the live auction. And we've got a 2-day fishing trip to Port O'Connor with a guide. Tickets that are right behind home plate for the Astros.
Wow.
We've got some really great live auction and silent auction. The silent auction will be open all day. So anybody can stay for those, and then anybody that has bought a VIP table will stay after the auction. And we'll have dinner and some live music then. And I don't know if you're familiar with Ray Burgess, but he is gonna. He does most of all the auctions in town and all for Sam.
Oh
Houston.
yeah, I do know Ray.
Yeah.
Yes. No, once you said the auctions, yes, I do know him. Yes, ma'am.
So Ray is gonna be our auctioneer for our live auction. And
awesome.
We're really looking forward to that. We have about 10. Memory tents, and so if you're looking to honor a loved one, we'd love to have you on our memory tent lane. And we've just asked that our parents do like a carnival type game with free prizes for those kids. It's a good way for us to be able to honor our own children in a fun, family friendly environment.
Yeah, well, this is great. Too, I know, so there's events going on all day out at the Williams Ranch for this, but then that evening is when the auction, the dinner, and all that happens, correct?
Yes. So from 11 to 4, the ranch will be open and have bounce houses, and we've got train rides. There'll be horseback riding. You can do trail ride add-on or let your kiddos ride around the arena. A couple of those things are an additional fee in addition to the entry fee, but the entry fee does include all of the exotic animals, camels, peacocks, ostriches, you name it. They have a little bit of all of it. And so it does include all of that. You can bring your fishing gear if you'd like and catch and release. So there's a lot to do out there. Wonderful. Even if you just choose to pay the entry fee.
And we do want to let people know at that live auction, unfortunately for Matt, there will be no SFA things given away there for the auction. So just wanted to throw that out there. If that's discouraging anyone, come and be a part of this great event. So.
Just to be clear, I did graduate from Texas A&M, but I grew up in Nacogdoches.
See, perfect, man. I'm telling you, when we said we had like literally every school color represented, we've got them all represented today. So that's wonderful. Well, such a great organization too, and we so appreciate you, Chrissy. With what you do with First Touch Family, just reaching out to families during some of their most trying times. And it's an unfortunate circumstance, but someone has to be there, and you've answered that call. And I hate to say it, but you had to do it. You've answered that call through your own experience. But this is so wonderful to be able to love on people. To let people know, hey, there's somebody out here that wants to help you, and if you need us, we're here for you, and that's what y'all do at First Touch Family. Maybe highlight, just because maybe someone's watching this morning, and maybe just highlight how your organization helps families, if you don't mind.
So our first contact generally with the family is either referral or through our Blessing Box ministry. And our Blessing Box ministry, we feel like it's very important to get Bibles out and grief resources out to our families immediately that can kind of help them start navigating that journey. But I'm a firm believer of after the casseroles go cold, and everybody's gone home, what do you do? And so, we do community gatherings. We just had a bereaved Mother's Day gathering where we just did some crafts together, provide those resources. I show up at funerals if we need to, help plan funerals if we need to, and give parents resources to make good decisions, especially during those times of trauma. So really, we just try to meet those families where the need is, and that has been food for animals, groceries, rent, just kind of whatever the actual need is for that family. So we can support families from the initial trauma, loss of trauma. We actually just had a 16-month-old baby pass away Monday that they did a service for here. And we serve families who have, are 30 years out that just want their children remembered and want a way to express those memories and still have that community.
Yeah, I want to encourage folks, by the way, go to their website, firsttouchfamily.org, for more information on the resources and how Chrissy and her team are just being such a tremendous blessing to so many families. Your phrase, when the casseroles grow cold, I've unfortunately had to officiate 2 funerals recently, and I've used that phrase both times at the end because I always remind people at the end. A friend of mine, Katie, had reached out, and her father had passed away from a really aggressive form of Hodgkin's lymphoma and just came out of nowhere. And I remember at the end of that service, I just felt like the Lord put it on my heart to remind people to not forget about this family. And I used that phrase. I thought of you at the end of that. It's funny how things kind of reconnect. And I remember looking at Pat, his wonderful wife, and I looked right at her and I said, Pat, it's going to be tough and you're going to need some time alone because people need that time alone. But I said, there's going to be a time where people want to reach out and they want to help you. When you're ready for that, I said, allow people in your life when you're ready to be there to support you. And then I encouraged everyone else. I said, don't allow these casseroles to go cold for her. Keep them warm and bring them to her. I thought of you when that came, and then I thought of it again a while back, a couple of months ago. And so just thank you for what you do and for connecting us to folks. How did you, if you don't mind, and Matt meet?
Well, we go to the same church or have been involved in the same church in Anderson Baptist Church. And that was the first time I remember meeting Blake and Chrissy, and just a friendship grew. And we've done some Bible studies together, and through the years, probably 6 years or better, we just stay connected, and we don't live too far from each other. And so
awesome.
We're passing by. She probably passes by our house a little more than we pass by her house. But
yes, sir.
We live in Richards, so. But anyway, that's how we met and just stayed connected. And I would say very similar heartbeat of missions and helping people, sharing with people, and just my wife and I, we have been very involved in different specialized ministries, whether it's adoption or fostering or helping people at the church, whatever. I mean, it's generally kind of the tough stuff that we seem to migrate to.
Yes, sir.
And so I think that's been a huge connection with Blake and Chrissy. And so
well, I'm telling you, every time I do this show and I have folks come on, it just warms my heart because we are so blessed. And I said it earlier, we are so blessed here, especially in this part of the country, with just folks that want to help out and be a part. And that's what we try to promote here on this show, is promoting the good in our community. And I was talking to somebody the other day, and they said, well, this is going on and that's going on. And it just seemed like there was so much negativity. And, when we get wrapped up in that world, we become part of that world. But we can also look ahead and say, you know what? God's got something more in store, not because we deserve it, because we don't, but he wants to be there for us. He wants us to cling to him in our times of need. And I'm going to tell you, friends, in your time of need, and you need to be around folks who are going to be there for you. The Lord's going to be there for you, and people are going to embrace you and help you through whatever journey, whatever battle you're going through. And that's just what I love about Huntsville. It just seems like when there's a need, so many people come together and meet that need. And I don't ever want, here's the inspiration today, I don't want anyone to ever take for granted how blessed we are to be right here in this community. And I know other people can say, well, that's the same for their community. And I'm sure it is, but it's not as good as Huntsville. I'll just say that because
I'll have to agree.
Yeah, it's really good here in Huntsville. So, well, thank y'all so much for being on. Chrissy, anything else that you wanted to highlight? And just, want to remind people, of course, come out to the event in a couple of weeks.
Yes, please do. And if you have any questions, please call. I'd love to answer your questions. If you have a family that has lost a child from wound loss through adult child loss, we'd be honored to serve that family. So please feel free to reach out, and I'll give you whatever resources I have or connections we can make for you.
And that's just it. It just takes that one point of contact to get things started. I've always said that with folks. Just reach out, and even if you feel like, well, I don't know if they can do this, reach out. And Chrissy's got such a big heart that she's going to figure out or connect you to the right resources that you need if they can't provide it. So just make that call. You can go to their website at firsttouchfamily.org for more information. Matt, from you, any final remarks? So good to have you, man. This is a joyful morning.
Great to be here. I'm honored to be here. You were talking about people needing help, but there's a lot of people probably in your audience that has a talent or has a heart that would be giving, and they think they're insignificant or nobody would want to hear from them. And I would encourage that, just like I did with Jasper, just step out, man, and take the lead and go encourage somebody. Find a way to encourage and to come alongside people who are hurting. And so that would be my encouragement.
Love that. Matt, I'm going to have you on more because we talk about this every day. Chrissy watches the show. She knows this is what we talk about every day on this show. So I definitely think it's a divine appointment that you're here today, Matt. So we're going to have to bring Matt on more often. So, Chrissy, you can come too, Chrissy.
Thank you. I just signed myself up.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I'm coming today.
Yeah, you got the link, and I've said if you've got the link, you just come on whenever you want. So we've made it super easy. We used to get on the phone and be like, were you available this day and that day? And I found a service that just puts what days were available, and I just say, hey, when you want to come, you just fill. And it's been like, I'm like, do I have to do any work anymore? Because people start filling my calendar, which is great. So it's good, though.
And your gifts. Don't forget your gifts.
Mention what you have today. Thank you.
We just have a First Touch cap and koozie. That seems to be hot.
Yeah.
And then I have this journal that I really love. It's called Never Unfriended.
Oh, wonderful.
Keeping lasting friendships. And it's really a beautiful journal with scripture and some writing prompts in it.
Wow,
so
yeah, let's see that. This is really beautiful.
Yeah, I hope whoever gets that, I know that it'll be for the right person.
Yeah, so it's a journal you can write in, and there's scripture on there too. Well, thank you so much, Chrissy, for bringing this. Miss Gibson, last time you were here, you were here with Sherry.
Cherie.
I knew
yes.
it. Sherry Wasserman.
Yes.
Okay.
Cherie.
Sorry, Cherie. That's one name I always either want to say Cherry or Sherry, and it's Cherie.
Yeah.
So sorry, Cherie.
But they've worked so hard.
She's
Ronnie
done a great job.
and Cherie have worked so hard to get this together. And really and truly, they are the presenting sponsors of the foundation and, of the event, and have just chosen to give all of the proceeds for the event back to First Touch Family. So that's been a huge, huge blessing.
Yeah.
Debbie Mitchum and David Smith have also been very instrumental in helping pull the event event So I'm surprised. I'll bring her on next time.
Yeah, bring her on in.
You'll love her.
You got the link. Just schedule away. So. But the new rule is whoever you bring, they got to bring a pup.
They got to
like
bring a
Jasper.
puppy.
Yeah.
Okay,
No,
well, I'll bring my Malinois, but I'm
not. He would clean the room out.
Yeah.
Well, again, thank y'all so much, and we'll see all of you at the Spring Family Festival coming up in just 2 weeks. Not this Saturday, but next Saturday out at the Williams Ranch. We'll post more information on our events section and also goes out on our newsletter at hellohuntsvilletx.com. So thank y'all so much for being here this morning.
Thank you for having us.
Hey, and if you would like a chance to win these items, all you have to do today is text in your name to 936-339-0139. Again, that number, 936-339-0139. We'll take a brief break. We'll come back in just a few moments. As always, our show's brought to you by First Baptist Church, a harbor of hope here in Huntsville. More information online at fbchuntsville.org. We'll be back in a moment. Stay with us. It's your show. This is Good Morning Huntsville.
Hey friends, Rob Hipp, Media and Community Outreach Minister here at First Baptist Church, Huntsville. Let me ask you, when's the last time you felt real hope? Maybe it's been a while since you've been to church, or maybe you've never felt connected to a church at all. Well, friends, that's okay. Here at First Baptist, we're a harbor of hope, and we welcome everyone just as they are. We have programs throughout the week for all ages to come together, ask questions, grow in faith, and find the hope that only Jesus Christ can bring. Whether you're looking for a fresh start or a community to call home, we'd love for you to join us. Come experience something real. For more information, visit fbchuntsville.org. First Baptist Church Huntsville, a harbor of hope.
In this harbor of hope, we are safe inside.
Tomorrow's Promise Montessori schools believe in creating spaces where children can learn, grow, and use their imaginations. At any Tomorrow's Promise location, children enjoy the largest playgrounds in town. Tomorrow's Promise Montessori is a fun school where every child learns at their own pace, and mastery of a concept is expected before moving on to the next concept. At Tomorrow's Promise, every child is respected, loved, and nurtured for the unique individual that they are.
Tomorrow's Promise Academy on Veterans Memorial now open. Visit tomorrowspromise.info for more information. Education you can trust.
Hey, I'm Denise Olivas, Business Account Specialist at Walker County Federal Credit Union. One of the best things I hear from our members is how they love being treated like they're important, like their family. Sure, our members love things like low rates on loans too, but combine that with the friendliest and most helpful service in town, and you've got Walker County Federal, taking care of our members. It's what we do. We are Walker County Federal Credit Union, member NCUA.
Braylon, say this is Spirit Radio.
This is Spirit Radio.
Back at it. It's news you can use here on your show with
Is this a different one, Rob?
No, that's it.
That's the same one? My sister texted in and said that she gave you some lyrics that maybe you could put into AI and give it a little Snoop Dogg feel.
Okay, we may have to do that then. So there you go, man. Awesome. We'll have to do that. So,
yeah.
But in all seriousness, Jason, here I need to do it officially.
Yes.
And now, the moment you've been waiting for all week long.
I don't know about that.
Thursdays with J-Bay. It's news you can use. I've got some news for you, brother.
There you go. We don't want to oversell it, Rob. We don't want to oversell it. We just want to give the people some news that they can use, hopefully, to generate discussion around the table and help families reconnect with one another over the often overlooked importance of communication. So here's some news that maybe you can use of things that are going around our world that typically aren't on the front page. We don't talk about politics or things like that. We generally just try to hit some entertaining messages. I sent you something on Slack, Rob, a couple of things on Slack there to pull up on your computer. One of them is a video. So while you're pulling up that, I want to hit another thing that I thought would be interest you, because we started out this morning talking about food. You know, you were mentioning different types of food. Well, there's a person has taken the opportunity to rank chicken nuggets from different places, different fast food places, and I stopped and pulled this article up about the ranking of chicken nuggets. Now, this is based on size, battering, and breading, crispiness, taste, and meatiness. And so these are the top 5 chicken nuggets. Now, if you were going to rank chicken nuggets from fast food places, what do you think would be the top one for you, Rob?
McDonald's.
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
They're
actually,
so good.
Yeah, yeah. And in this, not to give away the top one, but that was the top one.
It had to be.
Was McDonald's, and my dog loves chicken nuggets from McDonald's too. Number 5 was Jack in the Box, and they didn't rank very high on here because there was very little crispiness to the ones from Jack in the Box. I don't know if you've had the opportunity to try them from Jack in the Box. Number 4, Wendy's. Number 3, Burger King.
Those are good. Now, you remember you could get 10 of those for 99
yeah,
cents?
No
Not
kidding,
anymore.
No kidding. I know it. I remember that. Number 2 is going to surprise you. And it's really the reason I included it on the list.
I just saw it and I had
Taco Bell.
How?
I know. Have
They're
you
brand new.
Yeah, I know. This is what this lady says. Please hear me out for a second. I was skeptical about trying these chicken nuggets because why would I be skeptical about trying chicken nuggets from Taco Bell? I honestly came into this taste test not having high expectations for them, but I've been proven wrong. So I don't know. Maybe you need to swing by Taco Bell and have some chicken nuggets with your hamburgers tonight.
Just hit up every fast food restaurant on the way home. Well, I'll go to McDonald's and get the fries. I'll get the chicken nuggets over at Taco Bell.
Yes.
Yeah, why don't I go ahead and get a Big Mac over at Mickey D's too? You know.
Another thing from on the food front from NBC News. Did you know that there is a lawsuit currently going on that's been advanced to the next level of a group of people, 13 people, class action lawsuit filed against Burger King because the fast food chain has advertised burgers that to appear bigger than they are. I thought that was just standard operating procedure, didn't you?
Yeah, that's just somebody trying to make a quick buck. Quit suing these places because I eat at them and I want the prices to remain low.
Yeah, this comes from NBC News. A federal judge ruled Monday that a class action lawsuit alleging that Burger King falsely advertised the size of its signature cheeseburger can move forward. So let's see. We'll be following that on News You Can Use to see whether or not the burger whether this is successful. But you can see there the picture of the actual and the advertised.
No, the one that I get at our Burger King here does look like the advertised. I mean, come on. You know, I'm going to give those people a good shout out. Those are my buddies over there.
I don't think it's about the burger.
It's about the money. It's about the Benjamins is what it is.
Yeah. Find something you can sue over. 13 people got together and said, let's sue Burger King
because we can get some money out of it.
Right.
Okay,
right.
Look, if you have that mindset of like, oh, man, it's just like the lady who the McDonald's coffee got poured on her, you know, and then they had to put caution the contents are hot. I'm waiting on somebody to get out of their car at a red light, go up to a vehicle, grab the tailpipe, scorch their hand, and then sue the auto manufacturer because it doesn't say caution hot. That's coming. Please don't do this and quit suing medical stuff too. If we would quit suing medical stuff and food companies, the prices would come down.
We could afford insurance.
Yes.
Yes. And by the way, you may be thinking about, well, what about McDonald's and other places? Well, they've actually tried to sue McDonald's and Wendy's, but those lawsuits were dismissed back in September.
Our number 2 engager, by the way, you know her, PD.
Oh, yes.
What you talking about, Phyllis? She just messaged us and said, this is a good one, though, about the chicken nuggets. This I didn't even think about this. She said, "What about Chick-fil-A?"
Yeah,
they weren't even on the list, were
no,
they?
they just ranked the top 5, and I can't. And I don't know. This is all subjective. You know how it is. But how in the world can Taco Bell beat Chick-fil-A's?
Yeah.
But I will tell you that
pleasure.
if you haven't tried the grilled nuggets from Chick-fil-A are really good. I enjoy those every time I go there. I get those. All right, moving on. Mount Everest. Do you like Mount Everest news?
Sure. I haven't had it in a while.
That's what news you can use is all about. News you haven't had in a while.
What do you think about Mount Everest news? Well, boy, I think it's great. Haven't had it it's been a few weeks. This is good.
A great approval from Rob. But, you know, the idea of Mount Everest has always intrigued me. And there was a movie that was made called Everest. Have you seen that? It was back in 1996. Well, the movie was not in 1996. It was a pretty recent movie. It was made about the disaster that happened in 1996.
I would like this kind of movie.
Yeah, you should watch this movie, honestly. It's called Everest. It's a great movie about a true story about a expedition that went up to Mount Everest, where many people lost their life due to a storm that took place on the mount, unexpected storm that took place. But there's a great debate surrounding Mount Everest, and I got after that movie, I kind of looked into this because this has been a new trend among wealthy people, is to go to Mount Everest and climb Mount Everest. And a lot of these climbers are inexperienced climbers, and what they're doing is they're contracting out with guides there. And for like $40,000, you can go to Mount Everest, and they will take you to the top of Mount Everest.
Wow.
Well, I mean, here's one picture I'm showing just you. I can't show everybody, but look at this line going to the top of Mount Everest.
Oh, that's nuts. There's hundreds of people.
So what they have, yeah.
How do they not fall off of that?
Well, the thing is that because of the long lines, when the weather clears, there's a huge line trying to get to the top of Mount Everest because they're making tons of money off of these tourists that are coming. They're called extreme tourism. And it's a new trend, and people are spending lots of money to be able to say, hey, I went to the top of Mount Everest. Now, when they've gone to the top of Mount Everest, that's true, but they've practically been drugged there because all these tour guides are setting everything up for them, providing the oxygen, providing the food for them, providing them the opportunity to get up there, telling them when to go, telling them to keep moving and all that sort of stuff, taking them to the top and bringing them down. Thousands of people have done this now. And it's created a great problem on Mount Everest. And what they've realized recently is it's created a massive problem with trash accumulating on Mount Everest. And I sent some pictures there. And the reason why all this trash is accumulating is because when people get up there,
where are you going to put it?
There's nowhere to put it, first of all. And second of all, when they get up like a storm happens and it's a life-threatening conditions and they have to leave, go down, they end up abandoning everything that they have. So you see this picture right here is tons of old tents that have been abandoned, clothes, all different kind of stuff that people have left up there. So they have the people of Nepal have passed a new law, and this debate has been going on for about 30 years because the increasing number of tourism going to Mount Everest. And there was this debate among the people of Nepal about how do we clean this up? How do we make it the mountain the way it was intended to be, and not, look, those are abandoned canisters there of oxygen and food and other stuff that they put in those places. So that they thought about how can we curb the overcrowding that's taking place on the mountain, and they passed a new law there. And what they have said is in this new law is that in order to go to be escorted to the top of Mount Everest, you have to have at least climbed another 7,000 meter mountain in order to get a permit to go there. And that mountain must be in Nepal. So in order to do it, in order to get a permit, 'cause you have to have a permit to be able to be admitted to climb the mountain. In order to get that permit, you have to have proof that you have climbed another 7,000 meter mountain, and that has to be in Nepal. So it's trying to cut down on two things. Number one, the trash that's accumulating up there, and number two, the unnecessary deaths of people that are vastly inexperienced going there, attempting this, and not being able to make it off. There's been an alarming number of deaths that have taken place on the mountain.
Well, at the bottom of the mountain, the tourist shop is still there. They have the red caps with white lettering on the front that says "Make Everest Great Again."
Yeah, that's right.
Those are for sale to help raise money for
That's
this.
right.
Yeah.
So there you go. And I know that the next story I want to bring to all of our people out there, I know Rob is addicted to AI. I mean, every time we come on here, Rob is telling us about the benefits of AI, the benefits, how robots are going to change our lives, make everything better. They're developing music. They're making writing your papers easy. You can get a college degree just by entering some things into AI and spitting it out.
Yeah, just whatever you want. You can make a hamburger now with AI.
AI. It's all coming. It's all coming to fruition. The future is here. But I brought a video. Did you get that video on Slack?
Yeah.
Okay. Now I want to talk over this video because you know how some of these videos have talking in the background. Hopefully, those that are watching can see this.
You want me just to mute the video?
Yeah, mute it. This is a leaked video from a Chinese shop. Just watch this video for a minute and see what this robot that they are developing, what it does here. And if you're listening on Spirit Radio, we'll try to talk it through. So there's two guys working on a lifelike looking, like a humanoid is what they call these robots. They're basically human size. Is it working?
Yeah, it's playing.
Okay, so you see the robot now. Watch. They're turning it on. Now watch the thing.
What's going nuts?
Yeah, the robot. This is leaked this week. And now this is what the robots are typically used for. Look at that. They teach them to dance, and that's the same type of robot here that they're in this Chinese factory. They're showing the benefits of it. This is it right here. It weighs about 195 pounds, and it has the strength of a human. And look, this guy's kicking it, trying to knock it over, and it has incredible stability standing up. Look at that. They can do all different kind of coordination.
Look at the hip twitch.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Now, they have developed many of these robots, but in this video that's leaked right here is where you see it. This robot absolutely, when they turn it on, it goes crazy. Now, they're in the process of developing this one, but I'm telling you, this is the future, Rob. These robots going absolutely crazy, and here it is. Watch him.
It's angry.
Now look, how strong do you think that thing is?
Very strong, yeah. What happened was they overprogrammed the dancing.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Look at that. He's breakdancing, I think, breaking something while dancing. Look at him. He's trying to find the off button.
Well, this guy shouldn't have been so mean to him. That's why you wanted me to have it muted, because in Chinese he said a bad word to that thing and it got angry at him.
Apparently, but
yeah, look.
How'd you like to be in a fist fight with that robot?
It's got a good techno beat to it.
Yeah, right. Look at that thing.
Good night.
I'm telling you.
Wow.
This is the future.
It's happening. It's happening.
Yeah. And there's a robot there, too.
Look, this one's cool. It's like, whoa, that thing just...
I'm telling you.
Look.
They're not as nice as they appear.
Thing just went off on somebody. Look at this. He's like, what you want? Give me my money. Boom.
Yeah. They're like, okay, now where's the off button?
Back up.
There you go. So there's your future of your AI right there, Rob.
Oh, that's really scary. Skynet's coming, man. Yikes. Wow.
Yes. All right. A couple of more stories I want to get to before we conclude news you can use this morning. Target, this is in Fox Business, Target is now deciding to roll back its use of self-checkouts. We have talked about this, talking about AI.
Hate self-checkout. Not a fan.
Yeah, well, this is becoming a trend that many retailers are beginning to roll back the self-checkouts. And they are saying that they're doing this to be more in line with their customer service. But in actuality, many industry experts says that the major shift is the increase in theft that's going on because of self-checkout places. In 2023, the company reported, this is Target, by the way, nearly $500 million in losses related to shoplifting.
Wow. I'm just not a fan of the self-checkouts, Jason, because we talked about this yesterday during our staff chapel that with all of these services now, and we all order from Amazon and all that, but you're not interacting face to face anymore. And if you go to a self-checkout line, if you're going to do that, then why not just order online, let them deliver it to the house, because you're not even talking to anybody.
There's less human interaction, and when there's less human interaction, there's less relations of community, the emphasis on community. When there's less human interactions, there's more ability to think of somebody just like a robot. And I agree with you, whether it's the speaker you're talking to, from the lady that's taking your order, even that's AI now. I went to a Taco Bell about a month ago.
Did you get the nuggets?
No, I didn't get the nuggets. I got a taco.
You got what they're supposed to have. You've been at Taco Bell and they don't even have their, like, we're out of meat. How are you out of meat? That's like the ice cream machines breaking down at McDonald's.
Exactly.
But the AI talked to you at it?
Yeah, at that one it was all AI, and you had to be really careful of the way that you talked because it would mess up. But I'm sure that it's not long before all those will be automated as well. But yeah, I agree with you that the use of technology and self-checkouts, it limits the human interaction and human jobs, by the way.
You know what's crazy is 2 years ago we weren't even talking about any of this.
I know. See, the robots are coming to take over.
And it's my fault. I'm sorry, folks.
Yeah, it's your fault.
No, it is. It is, because I said a few years ago, technology's so boring now, there's nothing new.
Yeah, and AI is the big thing. And by the way, I'm just most of the stuff just joking, but there's great benefits to the use of that technology.
Yeah.
We've talked about it many times, but like anything, when the internet came out, remember, everybody was harping on how negative it was, but it's just like everything else. There's benefits and there's drawbacks, and it's just how you use it that makes all the difference.
And by the way, whenever you're talking about the internet and whenever people say, what was it? Al Gore invented the internet. No, he did not. So quit saying that. It makes me angry. Tim Berners-Lee is the one who programmed the World Wide Web. Do not give Al Gore credit. This isn't political. I'm not hating on Al Gore. I'm just telling you, do not give him credit. He did not invent the internet. That would be like saying that Ronald Reagan invented GPS. Do you know what I'm saying about this? Ronald Reagan is the president, the one who said GPS satellites should be used for public use also. At the time, back in the 80s, they were military only, and Reagan said this will be great for civilian use.
And boy, it is.
He didn't invent them, but he gave the green light to make it for civilian use.
Yeah.
Did you ever, this is a whole different topic, but did you ever have a GPS before your phone? And even before the device that you had in the car?
No, I didn't.
So back in the day, Rand McNally, you remember Rand McNally, the map company?
Maker, Atlas.
They sold this device, and this was before USB was a thing. They sold a 9-pin serial receiver that was about this big. And I remember when I had this old like Windows 3.1 laptop junk, but I'll never forget. I saw that thing, I think it was at Fry's Electronics or one of these stores that used to exist that sold a lot of this stuff. And they had that thing for sale for $99. And it was a box that you opened up, and it was a program called Street Atlas. And I was like, this is so revolutionary. And I could plug this thing in. And back then, it took about 15 minutes, and you had to have absolute clear line of sight. And it took 15 minutes to connect. And all of a sudden, you'd see, as you plugged it in on the software, you'd start to slowly see these little dots appearing, little satellite dots. And they would start out as white, then they would go yellow, which means that they were starting to connect, that they were starting to receive them. But it had to connect to like 5 or 6 of them. To triangulate, you need 3 points of anything. So after 3, it would really start to work. And I'll never forget, to me, that was mesmerizing. And then as you would drive,
or walk, you would see a little dot. But you had to have this huge laptop. You had to have this thing on top of your car. But it was cool. The technology was awesome, man.
I mean, I remember back in the day whenever that first came out, like on
the phone was revolutionary.
YouTube, I mean, Yahoo and Google. What we used to do is you decide where you're going to go, and then you had to print out all those pages.
The old MapQuest.
Yeah, MapQuest.
Yep.
And you print out all those pages, and you have it, and it tells you where to turn. And we thought that was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, not having to carry around the big folding map to bring it out and try to figure out where you're going. Technology sure has changed travel, that's for sure, because like for the younger generation, my kids especially, they don't have any idea, any concept of directions. They just follow wherever the phone leads, right? You just type in an address, just tell me where we're going, I'll type in the address and I'll meet you there. Now they may wind up in a store at the next town over. If you tell them meet me here, they may end up there, but they're going to follow the GPS, the satellite, wherever it tells them to go.
Good days, my friend.
They are. Is that them right there?
No, I was trying to find it, and it's so old I can't even find it on the internet.
Yeah, that would be awesome to see.
It's probably pre-internet, to be honest.
From the Wall Street Journal, I wanted to hit this. There's a recent article out this week talking about where home prices are rising and falling the most throughout the United States. Now, I thought it was interesting because it did bring up some local places, but the places where home prices are rising the most is in the Northeast, as you might think, and the Midwest. So places like Connecticut, Syracuse, New York, and New York, of course, the prices of homes are increasing the most in those types of areas up in the Northeast. Now, what I thought was interesting about this article was the areas where the housing prices are falling the most is in Lakeland, Florida, Tampa, Florida, Austin, Texas, North Point, Florida, and Cape Coral, Florida. And the reason why they said is because after COVID, there was a huge housing boom in Texas and in Florida. Lots of houses were being built, and they were overbuilding in many cases. And now that the housing market has kind of settled down, those prices now we're starting to see drop in many places around Austin. Lots of homes being built around Austin.
I grew up in that area in Georgetown,
right?
And I was looking yesterday, and a house that 10 years ago would have probably been $100,000, almost $300,000. You know, I bought my house there in 2006. It was a smart move because I was renting an apartment. The apartment was like $900 a month. And a friend of mine, she was a real estate agent. I think I was 20 at the time, and she goes, I could probably get you a house for what you're paying in your apartment. I was like, no, I don't want that liability or that risk. And she's just like, it's not a liability. She goes, it's an investment. She goes, think of your house as a house as a bank account. She's like, we're not living in Detroit. These things aren't going to go down in value anytime soon.
Right.
So she convinced me, and I'm glad I listened to her. So I bought that house. And I paid, I think it was $114,000. And my mortgage, she was right, it was $952 a month, all in, and it was on 3/4 of an acre. It was a great little neighborhood. Loved the house. It was in unfortunately, later would be put in a floodplain, and I had to deal with that. But then I turned around and sold that house, Jason, and sold it for $270. And I'd been paying on it for 16 years, so I had a lot of equity, or 14 years, so I had a lot of equity built up in it. That's how we afforded to move here and put a down payment on a house, here in Huntsville. So it was a huge blessing. But what I'm getting at is the guy, I wanted to fix that house up. I didn't have the money to do it. An investment company bought it from me. They put about $75,000 into the house. They turned around and flipped that house for like $440. And I said, you have got to be kidding. I paid only $114 for that thing. And there were still people at the time in 06 paying under $100,000 for houses.
Yeah.
Isn't it crazy how things have changed?
Those prices were going up and up and up and up around the Austin area, up, and they were building, and now that has kind of tapered off some. So you sold at the right time, it seems like.
Yeah, it was, and I had a really nice lady. It was a different real estate agent. I felt bad because I went through someone else to sell the house, but she did a lot with me, and she said this is the best time to do it, and she gave me some solid advice, and I did it. And I tell people all the time, especially in this area or anywhere here in Texas, man, if you can get a hold of a property, buy it.
Mm-hmm.
If you have the resources to do it, do it. You will not regret it.
A lot of people, as we know, because we've seen it here in our local community, but a lot of people after COVID were, because of the extreme housing prices and what was going on in California, people moving from California to Texas, and a lot of people moving around this area.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on, Houston Chronicle has this article out, and I thought this was very interesting because you and I recently have been involved with GoFundMe because your dog needed surgery and my dog needed surgery, and neither one of us could afford it, so we both set up a GoFundMe account and raised some money to get the dogs the surgery that we needed. And GoFundMe recently published the most generous places in the whole United States. And the number one most generous generous city of all time, according to the GoFundMe crowdfunding platform, was Spring, Texas.
Wow.
Yeah, Spring, Texas gave the most money in GoFundMe. Residents donated more than $5.5 million through GoFundMe in the last 15 years, contributing more than any other city to the platform's over $40 billion raised globally.
Well, the problem with that, though, Jason, is it's wrong because the internet services that we get here in Huntsville, they actually probably originate from Spring. So they're basing that on IP address, and it's really Huntsville, Texas,
yeah, that's
number
right.
one.
That's right. No doubt. Well, back to the food issue, just really quick. The Arby's, do you like Arby's?
Oh, man, yeah.
Arby's is a polarizing food place in my household. You know, some of our I like it. I like Arby's, and
creates major debates.
Yeah, major debates in my household. And others, my boys especially, say Arby's is the worst. So I think it probably has that effect on a lot of people. Be interesting to know the people out there that like Arby's, because it does seem to be one of those places that can draw a lot of polarizing opinions. But I will say that Arby's is releasing a brand new menu item that people are saying might be one of the most exciting yet. Now, it's not released in Huntsville yet, but they're slowly placing this around the United States, and this is it. It's steak nuggets, Rob. It does sound enticing. It says they're steak tips, small bite-sized chunks of meat, in this case prime rib. One food reviewer got their hands on it and described the taste as resembling burnt ends at a barbecue restaurant. So it's smoky and slightly sweet flavors, and they're expecting to roll this out at many different places. So hopefully that will eventually reach to our local Huntsville Arby's, and we'll get to try the steak tips coming to an Arby's near you.
Boy, I wonder why nobody's ever thought about that before.
Yeah, probably because it costs too much to make. But with the price of food nowadays, a hamburger's $10.
Have you ever been to Ransom's in Montgomery?
No, I haven't.
Oh, man. I don't see. No one around here talks about it. And we have great places here. You know, 1836 is really good. We have the Texas Roadhouse now. There's places you can get a good steak here in Huntsville now. But the best steak that I've ever had, besides the ones that my father-in-law fixed about a month ago, and I say it's because he cooked it on my Traeger.
Oh, yeah.
But the best that I've had ever in this area is Ransom Steakhouse in Montgomery.
I'll have to try it.
I thumbed my way up from Nashville with a guitar on my back.
Oh, yeah.
That's how I got there. I was thinking, I don't know why I said that. I was thinking of that old song, but it had nothing to do with Montgomery, did it?
Yeah.
Did it? You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah. No, I know what you're talking about.
Is that a Ronnie Millsap song?
No, I don't think Ronnie Millsap, but
no, that's Smoky Mountain Rain.
Yeah. Somebody type in and tell us what song that Rob is
that's
thinking
bothering
of.
me now. But anyways, because I thought it was like I thumb away from Nashville. I'm getting them all mixed up. Anyways, Ransom Steakhouse, best steak. How do you like your steak, Jason? Please tell me what I need to hear.
Medium rare.
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
If you get a steak well done, you are ruining that thing. Then you put a little horseradish cream on it.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, when I was at A&M, my degree was in animal science, and I had to take a meats class. And in this class, it was a great class because you had to slaughter and cut up meats from 3 different animals. That was the whole class, and you had to cut and prepare all these different types of meats. And then we had that was the lab part, and then we had a lecture part. I learned so much in that class. But one of the things our professor taught us is when you order a steak well done, they're going to give you the worst cut of steak that they have back there in the back because it's going to cook all the fat out of it anyway.
Yeah.
So they're going to look at they're not going to give the best cut of meat back there. Yeah, to cook it well done.
Don't waste them.
Yeah, so don't order your steak well done, or if you do, be prepared for what you get. All right, next article from USA Today. This happened last week. Starbucks built a brand new store, and this store is unique because it's the first one of its kind. It is made entirely by a 3D printer.
Oh, wow.
And it was made in Brownsville, Texas. Just had its grand opening on May the 2nd. It's 1,400 square foot, and the whole store was built by a 3D printer. So check that out next time you're down in Brownsville, Rob.
Remember a while back you brought up an article, they were 3D printing houses, and it was in my hometown, in Georgetown.
Your hometown, a whole neighborhood.
Yep.
Did you hear about that Elon Musk, he has this community out there. They've incorporated that city now.
Yeah, SpaceX City, Texas or something. Space City, Texas.
Yeah.
They got their own municipality and all that. That's cool.
That happened last week. They incorporated that city now, so they're officially their own city. All right, last article that I want to share with you from GQ magazine. That's an article magazine I brought to you.
That stands for
recently.
Gangsta Quality, by the way.
Is that what it does?
Gangsta Quality.
But in the article, they're mentioning there's a new trend going forward, and the new trend is people getting their tattoos removed. You've seen this lately?
Yeah, I think the tattoo thing. I mean, I'm not hating. If you want to have them, that's cool. But I think I don't know. I've never really had an opinion on that. It's cool. I know a lot of people that do, and I don't have anything against it.
Right.
But I also think if you have like those sleeves, I'm thinking when you turn like 90, you're probably going to want that off.
Well, so here's the thing. Because so many of the people our age, millennials, back in the day, tattoos were exploding in popularity. And like I said, I don't have anything against tattoos or people that have tattoos. But now that people our age are reaching their 40s, at the same time of the explosion of tattoos, now their body is changing. And so they're seeing this on extraordinary level of people now wanting to get their tattoos removed. And so now a lot of tattoos places are not only offering tattoos, but they're also in the same shop offering tattoo removal. But it requires a whole lot more money to have a tattoo removed, and it is a whole lot more
dangerous.
It's a whole lot more intense to have it removed. And probably the most famous person that is getting their tattoo removed, and you may have heard about this, is Pete Davidson. Pete Davidson has spent about $200,000 on tattoo removals, and he is a guy that appeared on Saturday Night Live. If you guys aren't familiar with him, a comedian, and has been in different movies and other things, but he was famous for his whole body covered with tattoos. Well, now he is seeking to remove all of those tattoos and spent over $200,000 on removing his tattoos. And he talks about, in this article, how it is extremely painful to go through. It's literally like burning your skin off. He says in this article, Davidson, he said since he got sober, he got out of drugs, he said he's kind of undergone a kind of adult baptism, and he wants to make his body reflect that. So he's having these tattoos removed. So
my sister just said I ain't removing mine. My sister's is like a cat on her ankle. Rebecca, we're not talking about yours. I remember those tats you had, Jason, when I first started coming here.
I had to get all of those removed, especially the one on my face.
Yeah, the face, and then that sleeve you had was pretty legit.
Yeah,
it was like it said A&M, and it had that big ring in the middle, and it said "Born Texas, Texas Tough."
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And I remember that big one you had on your chest that said North Dakota.
And it had the bison, and then under it said "You betcha." Yeah, I got that one taken off.
Well, I got to.
How many times did you have to go back to try to get that one removed?
Yeah, no one here would do it. It was part of my sign-on bonus. You know, when I went to work over there, they really did take excellent care of me, Jason. And one of the things I was joking about it yesterday. One of my incentives was LASIK eye surgery.
Yeah,
but I had to be there a year, so I didn't get that.
Oh man,
they would have given that to me because a big sponsor was the LASIK clinic.
Yeah,
so they were so they were enticing me with all this whenever I got hired over there. And they said, "Oh, and by the way, we'll give you a country club membership to the golf course there." So they had a deal with I was thinking I'll never use that because I never played golf.
Well, I'll tell you what. I mean, would
have been cool though.
My wife, her life changed because of the LASIK eye surgery, because she always wore glasses and she hated wearing glasses, and she had a thick glasses, and she had to wear contacts. So she wore contacts, but then she has really susceptible to allergies in her eye.
Oh man, yeah.
And so notoriously her eyes would just get bloodshot red, and she had to go to the eye doctor, and the eye doctor is telling her, you really don't need to wear these contacts because this allergy in your eye can really cause permanent damage to your eye. So one year for her birthday, I found a place down in the Woodlands that did it, and I saved my money up, and I paid for her to go down there. And she was told a long time ago she wasn't a candidate for that, but so much technology has improved. And she went down there, and I mean, we took her in. She laid down there, woke. They didn't just run that machine over you or whatever they do, and came out of that place 20/20 vision, well, better than 20/20.
Yeah,
honestly,
that's what they say.
And never looked back. And I promise you that we've saved more money not having to go to all these eye doctor's appointments, buying glasses and contacts, just paying for the LASIK back then.
And whenever you said no looking back, no pun intended, not looking back.
Exactly.
Those machines nowadays, Jason, they have a meter on them, like a taxi meter, and as they run, there's a little dollar sign on there, and as it goes, each millimeter, it's about $100, and so as those machines run, you get to see it. It's really neat. If you have your spouse with you, they get to watch as that machine runs up the meter. It's really awesome.
I want to close with this, Rob. We talked about this. We've been talking about this for some time now. This is an article in Vox magazine. Vox is a pretty liberal publication for those that aren't aware. But the title of this article caught my attention. And the title of the article is "Gen Z is Finding Religion," period. And then it says, "Why?" ? And in this article, this is not from a religious perspective. This is just from a secular perspective. And the question that they asked is 3 theories for Gen Z's return to God and faith. And this is something you and I have talked about because we've been involved in the college ministry. We've went over and did the help with the Collegiate Day of Prayer. We've seen how young people now are really finding the Lord in a big way. And when they find the Lord, they're so passionate about their walk with the Lord. And they're not bogged down by a lot of things that people of our generation or older are bogged down by like things that divide them, the little things that separate denominations. And their relationship with God is more than, in my opinion, just from looking at them, is more about their relationship with the Heavenly Father. And so they in this article, they mention several different things of why they believe that this generation is going back to the church. And one of the underlying reasons why they say that the younger people are finding the Lord in major ways, we're seeing a revival in Gen Z, is because of the effects of what going through COVID did in their teenage years. Going through COVID led to loneliness, isolation, mental health issues, and they realize depression, and they realize the importance of community. They realize the importance of doing life together. They realize the importance of finding purpose and coming together in something bigger than themselves. And I think this article, from a secular point of view, really underlines the importance of why God created the church. Because at the very beginning, when God created Adam and Eve, He created the family, And right after that, he created communities. And life is meant to be done together. And we say this every Thursday. You and I gather on here, and we always talk about the importance of being a part of a church. It doesn't have to be this church. We're not here beating our chest telling you to come to First Baptist. But we genuinely believe that purpose and fulfillment and joy is found in a relationship with Christ.
Amen.
And is found in a relationship with one another. When you can come together and do life together in the context of a church, there's just something bigger than yourself. There's something important. There's something fulfilling about that. There's something about what, like Chrissy was talking about earlier about going through pain, about going through joys, about just doing life. It's so important to have those people in your life to do those things with.
Yeah, and you've got to have people to talk to help you through situations.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was talking to you about a situation. Obviously, I'm not going to go on to it here on the show as a conversation between you and I, but I was bitter about something, last week. And I started thinking, Jason, if I didn't have anybody to talk to about that, I would still be harboring that bitterness here today. And I was talking to Catherine here last night. She's so wonderful, Deborah's mother, and just thank the Lord for her. She is so in tune with everybody's needs, and she's such an advocate for prayer, and she wants to see people to be prayed for, and she's so passionate about that. And she and I have had some very deep conversations. I'm thankful for her. I get to sit and talk to her on Wednesday nights and chat with her a little bit after I teach the kids, and we were talking last night, and I said, we as Christians, we sometimes think that, and I did, we think that if we're praying and we don't see immediate results, or if things that we're praying for don't come to pass or whatever, I know for me, Jason, I thought maybe I was doing something wrong, and I've realized, especially going here and being here, that I need that community. And through this community, I've realized that it's all about faith. And it's all in God's timing. And not everything's going to happen right away. In fact, some things may never happen, and that's okay. But it requires us to remain in faith. And that's my encouragement to anybody this morning is, it took me 40 years to figure that out, Jason. And I've heard it from so many different pastors over so long. But there is something special when you get together with believers, because you can talk through things, and they'll help guide you in your faith even stronger to the Lord. And that's what happens here, and I'm thankful for that.
Absolutely. So, coming back full circle, we were talking about a song, and you said the song was, and here's the lyrics. I found it for you, Rob. I was stumming from Montgomery.
That's why I thought of it.
I had my guitar on my back when a stranger stopped beside me in
an antique Cadillac.
That's David Allen Coe, brother.
He was dressed like 1950. Is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
Half drunk and hollow-eyed.
There you go.
It's a long walk to Nashville. Would you like a ride, son?
So there's how Ransom. This is how Rob's mind works.
That was it.
He was thinking about Ransom, the steak place in Montgomery, and immediately David Allen Coe's song comes to his mind. Way to go. I'm proud of you, Rob.
Thank you, man. And I forget that there was a newer version of that song that had came out. And, boy, it was a newer version of that song that came out. I think it was like Tim McGraw or one of those guys back in the day. I can't remember for sure, but that's the version that I remember.
Oh, yeah.
But I just remember, he was dressed like 1950.
See, but you thought you were losing your mind.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
But no, you had Montgomery. You connected the dots from the steak place, Montgomery, Texas. Then you went to Montgomery, Alabama, and then you went to David Allen Coe's song.
There it is.
This is how Rob.
What was the Montgomery lyric again? On my way from Montgomery.
With a guitar on my back.
With a guitar on my back. When a stranger pulled up beside me in an antique Cadillac. He was dressed like 1950. That was a good old song back in the day. Man. You know which one I'm talking about?
Oh, that's it. David Allen Coe. I saw he came to know the Lord. Did you know that?
No.
He had some very vulgar songs back in the day.
Horrible songs, yeah.
And he came to know the Lord, and I saw him in concert after he'd given his life to the Lord, and it was a wonderful testimony he had about what God had done in his life. But hey, bringing it back full circle. Nothing goes missed on Hello Huntsville.
Wow. He came to Georgetown. There was some friends of mine, the Edwards family, Martha and Dean Edwards. they had a motorcycle shop called Hog Alley. Perfect name, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially for David Allen Coe fans.
Well, yeah. Well, Dean had always wanted to have his own biker bar. And so he eventually, and this was an older man. We knew him because they lived down the street from him. Well, his dream came to pass. He built the bar and all that. Well, then he ended up getting cancer and he passed away. And Martha had tried to continue. And you hear the word bar and you think it's this rowdy place. It really, during the day, it was a night. You could bring the family. I mean, the way they had it laid out, and you weren't going to run into bad guys up there. It was just his, and when I say biker bar, he wanted to have a really cool place that had bikes, and he did. He had all that. It was the neatest place. Families went there. I mean, there was even people after church on Sundays who go eat over there because the atmosphere that he created was that you could bring your family to. Now, after 9 o'clock, no, you probably don't want to. You're not going to bring your family up there. But part of his dream, too, is he had this really awesome backyard. He called it the backyard. And a huge area. And they built a stage back there and started having concerts. And one of the biggest concerts that he ever had, somehow he got David Allen Coe to come over there and play at that venue. I didn't go to that, but I heard that there was thousands of people packing that backyard of that place. And, he passed away. And I'll never forget because I had a taxi business in Georgetown before Uber and Lyft got real popular.
You've done everything right.
Well, I was trying to I do everything because I was just trying to figure out a way to make a living. That's all
what
it
you got
was.
to do, man.
And we found a need. Someone one night had said, hey, I need a ride home. I can't drive. And I told him, I said, well, $80. And he goes, man, that's great because they were going to charge me $100 to come from Austin. And so we had went to this place, gave a guy a ride home. Well, whenever we had got him, another person had called and said, hey, y'all just took so-and-so home. Can you come take me? And I was like, well, $120. And, oh, well, that's cheaper than Austin. So we raised the rate. Long story short, a buddy of mine started a taxi business. Well, Dean was one of our very first passengers when we officially became we were licensed with the city. We had to pay a fee so we could be licensed and all that. We had insurance. Insurance was ridiculous. I mean, it was like almost $1,000 a month for the taxi insurance because of liability. But long story short, Jason, with Dean was one of the very first official passengers that we had, and my brother knows how to wire up stuff. He's a rock star at that car audio stuff. And I had bought an official taxi meter, and we had a Ford Escape. My brother mounted the meter. And I'll never forget when Dean got in there and he rode. My buddy Justin was driving then. He was my business partner. We called it the Hyson Cab Company.
There you go, man.
My name was Hip. His last name was Thomason. And we always, since we were kids, wanted to put our names together and start a business. So it was called the Hyson Cab Co. And Justin had called me and he said, he goes, well, I just dropped off Dean Edwards. I said, oh, how'd he like it? He goes, man, he wasn't happy. I said, well, why not? Well, he's complaining about the price. Turns out he was a hardhead. He was always joking around with people like that.
Right.
And so I used to do their computer work over at this Hog Alley place, and I was talking to Dean. He goes, well, I finally rode in your cab. I said, well, what are you talking about finally? You were the first passenger. He goes, yeah, and Justin got me in there, and he knew that meter was running up, and he goes, he took me to the neighborhood, and he started doing circles. And I'll never forget the way he described that. And he goes, and I'm just sitting back there, and I'm just watching the number, the dollar sign go up and up. And he goes, I know what y'all are doing. So it was a fun memory, man.
That was great, man. Rob, the taxi driver, I love that. And then every time someone got in, y'all had the repeat song, The Ride by David Allen Coe.
That's it, yeah. And I used to dress like 1950 with the guitar on my back.
Yeah, it's too bad y'all didn't have an antique Cadillac.
Yeah. Oh, man, it was good. All right, well, let's head over to that it used to be the 0 Degree Creations phone and text line. That number is up for sponsorship. 0 Degree Creations is no more. And we do have that line available for sponsorship, by the way. If anyone's interested, email hello@hellohuntsvilletx.com. We got a beautiful prize pack today, courtesy of First Touch Family.
Good morning.
Hello, stranger. I'm thumbing my way from Montgomery with a guitar on my back.
You're not Montgomery. You're a few blocks away from me.
Every time.
I was dressed like 1950, woman.
You know I have this number locked in my phone.
I wasn't half drunk, but boy, I was hollow-eyed. And it's a long walk tonight. Pastor's going to be like, bro, I was trying to wrap this up.
Get in the cab.
Jennifer, if we have a taxi cab, would you call us? And I'll make sure to do circles in the driveway when we pick you up, okay?
I know, right? Sounds fun.
Well, Jennifer, you've won a prize pack from First Touch Family. How cool is that?
That is so awesome. I love Chrissy and what she does. I met her at a women's retreat that we had with Northside Baptist.
Awesome.
And some months back, prior to meeting her and finding out, about her organization, I had a friend of mine whose son had passed away, and I had got a blessing box sent to her, and it was just such a blessing. I mean, and then another friend of mine, her son had passed away several years ago, but I had still sent her a blessing box as well, and it's just amazing what her organization does, and it's a lot of resources, a lot of good resources, and she's a wonderful person, and she comes to a lot of the women events that we have there at Northside, and she's
wonderful.
It's wonderful what she does. It's a big blessing, huge blessing for those bereaved mothers, for sure.
Definitely.
Well, we got it for you. You can pick that up here at the church Monday through Thursday, 9 to 3, Jennifer. Thank you for all your support. And, hey, we will see you, hopefully, on Thursday, June the 5th for the 3rd annual Rays of Hope. Jennifer was our very first T-shirt recipient ever in our event.
All right, yeah.
I still have the shirt. Yes, I'm looking forward to it. I'll have my alarm set bright and early that day.
Do you have both shirts from both years?
Yes.
All right.
Well, the yellow and the blue.
Well, you're going to have a third one this year. So,
what color is it this year?
Okay.
Maybe gray. Maybe gray. Haven't
gray.
Decided yet. Yeah.
I love gray. That'll work.
Perfect. All right. Well, Jason's got a question before we go. All right.
What's your favorite thing about living in the community of Huntsville?
Just that it's a small town. Even though it's growing, it still has that small town feel. My daughter tries to get me to move to Katy, where she's at, and I'm like, nope, can't do it. I love Huntsville. I love the community. Just, almost everybody knows everybody unless you're brand new here. But, I still in some ways feel almost brand new, but I've been here, I think, 15 years now. But
cool.
It's still just wonderful. I love it here. And
yeah,
it's community. It's community. It's friends. It's love. That's Huntsville.
You're in a small community, but you still have access to a lot of the larger community events. It's not far to get to anything.
No, not far at all.
And yeah, it is a blessing. We enjoy
it. It is. Everybody wants me to move, and I'm down that way, and I'm like, oh no, because I'm from Houston, so I have no interest in being a part of the bigger
Now, your
city.
daughter is the one that lives in Katy. Is that what you said, Jennifer?
Yes.
All right. Well,
she lives in Katy.
Okay. Well, next time she says you need to move there, you need to sweet brown her. Okay. And what sweet browning what sweet browning means is ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah, that's right. Ain't nobody.
Absolutely
got time for that.
not. Especially with the traffic. That's the main. No, thank you.
All right. Well, have a blessed day. Thank you, Jennifer, for all that you do. We appreciate you very much.
Y'all too. Thank you. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
That's a new verb, sweet browning somebody.
Yeah, I love that.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
It's classic.
Bronchitis.
It's a classic.
All right, well, we got to go, man. I got to thumb my way up from Montgomery with the guitar on my back.
Yeah.
We got a busy day. But, Jason, let folks know what's going on this weekend. Huge opportunity. Children. Boy, when a church has babies and children getting dedicated, that is such a blessing. Mother's Day.
Yeah, we started this a few years ago. We have our baby dedications on Mother's Day, and it was always a great time. We always have the house packed on Mother's Day anyway, and it's this year we have a record number of baby and child dedications that are going to be happening this Sunday. I know it'll be a great Sunday to be in the house of the Lord. Hope you all can come out and be a part of what God is doing. And if you're not in our church, go to your church this Sunday. Be a part. Take your mom, if your mom's still with you, and enjoy that time together in church.
And I do want to remind folks, too, coming up, Party at the Park in a couple of weeks, so make sure you come to that. And then on Memorial Day, we are going to, and we are really encouraging everybody to come. I think I think Memorial Day, and we're not about the numbers, we're about people growing and having a relationship with the Lord, but I really think that this Memorial Day weekend, that may even surpass Easter. We have a very special guest coming here to Huntsville.
Yeah, absolutely. We're so excited about Jeremy Stallnecker. He is a Marine from California. Is also a pastor, and he works with soldiers that come back with dealing with PTSD. He has an amazing testimony about what God has done in his life and the hope that he found in Jesus Christ. And now it's his mission to help others that have gone through that. And he's going to be sharing this Memorial Day weekend here at our church. We want everybody to come. Even if you're a part of a different church, come and hear him. He's a dynamic speaker. He has his own website. And you need to go check it out, JeremyStallnecker.com. He does all sorts of inspirational messaging, and we're just fortunate to have him. He's flying all the way from California to be with us that Sunday morning, and I know you'll be blessed to be a part of the Memorial Day weekend that Sunday. Be a part of what God is doing here. Jeremy Stallnecker will be here in person to share with us what God is doing in his ministry and in his life.
Absolutely, and that's how we'll show that to end the show. But as we do wrap up, Jason, thank you for being here today.
God bless
Always
you.
a lot
It's
of fun, brother.
It's
Appreciate it. Again, I got to head up from Montgomery, guitar on my back.
Yeah.
I need to go dress like 1950.
Yep.
And it'll be a lot of fun.
Definitely. Get you some steak while you're there.
There you go, bro. I'll bring you one.
Yeah,
all right?
definitely.
Medium rare. I won't ruin it. So, hey, we love you, Huntsville. Thanks for hanging out with us today, as always. I know we have fun here, but the serious part is, you know what? There's a Lord out there who loves you. His name is Jesus Christ. We want to encourage you, get connected, get plugged into your local church, experience the good things that the Lord is doing in your life, and know that he's always there for you. We're not deserving of anything. And I've always said, you know, we are sinners saved by grace.
Amen.
And we want you to come, be a part of our family. Come visit, but most importantly, just get plugged in and get connected somewhere. As I end every show reminding you this morning that we're not strong enough alone to make it on our own. We need each other. So please provide a word of encouragement, lend a hand of support. Somebody out there needs you. One final time, good morning, Huntsville, and God bless. We're going to try to have Butch Davis on tomorrow. I'm not sure if we can get him, but there is a emergency preparedness fair also happening on Saturday. Butch Davis, the director of the Walker County OEM, and we'll try to talk to Butch. If not in person, maybe we can get him on the phone tomorrow. But we will be sharing information about that event with Billy Cawthon. But until then, good morning, Huntsville. God bless and so long. And Jason, we'll see you later. Thank you.
All right. God bless you.
Here's this video. Watch this as we sign off today from Jeremy Stallnecker, who will be here in Huntsville coming up on Memorial Day weekend.
Baptist Huntsville, this is Jeremy Stallnecker with the Mighty Oaks Foundation, and I'm sitting in my home studio today recording some different things for our organization, but I wanted to stop quickly and say hello and tell you how excited I am to be with you on May 25th. That is Sunday of Memorial Day weekend, and we're going to have a wonderful time together. I feel very honored to be able to spend this time with you. As you know, this is an important weekend, a very important holiday, as we remember the sacrifices of the men and women who've gone before us, those who gave their lives, paid the ultimate sacrifice that we could enjoy the freedoms that we do. Very, very important time, and I am excited to be able to spend that time with you. We're going to talk about Memorial Day, what it means, why it's important, and how we can live our lives in light of the sacrifices made by others. Again, very excited to be with you this Memorial Day weekend, Sunday, May 25th. We will see you then.
Loving Jesus, loving people side by side.